Hello my friends, I'm going to share with you ways to learn vibrational astrology. Maybe you don't know astrology at all, you're a beginner, maybe you're a professional astrologer, want to learn about vibrational astrology. Maybe you even are a vibrational astrologer and you want to learn the most cutting edge new developments. No matter what level you're at, I'm going to share with you tools and resources for learning vibrational astrology. And as you may know, vibrational astrology goes under several names. One of them is cosmic cybernetics, another is vibrational cosmobiology. So there are self-learning tools. You can just go off on your own, learn vibrational astrology, and there are ways to learn from other people. Among the self-learning tools, there are tutorial videos and there are books. And one thing about the tutorial videos, there are two ways to find a video that you're looking for. So suppose you want to learn about forecasting with vibrational astrology, or you might want to learn the essentials of vibrational astrology. Whatever it is you might want to get into, there are many hundreds of videos. How do you find them? There are two ways to find what you're looking for. I'll go over that. And there are books. There are several books. I'll mention what those books are. There are classes. Currently, there are 3 people teaching vibrational astrology. Say currently I'm making this video in December 2023, but if you're watching this video years into the future, in the year 2030, this is probably still relevant in terms of the basic things that you can access to learn vibrational astrology. And then there are seminars, workshops, conferences, events, lectures, things like that. I'll tell you about how you can find these things. But before I go through the details of these different ways to learn vibrational astrology, let me just review quickly what vibrational astrology is. There's many ways to explain what it is. Let me just give one perspective on what it is in case that's not clear. And even if you think you know what vibrational astrology is, this definition might surprise you a little bit. What I'm thinking is that the most fundamental principle of vibrational astrology is that it's an evidence-based practice. What do we mean by evidence-based? Does that mean we have evidence? Well, all forms of astrology have evidence. Well, we're using the term evidence-based practice the way it's used in many professions. For example, the American Psychological Association, APA, describes evidence-based practice as follows. I'll read the quote that I have here on the slide. Evidence-based practice is the integration of the best available research with clinical expertise in the context of patient characteristics, culture, and preferences. So a few key points here. An evidence-based practice uses the best available research, and there are criteria, there are rules, there are guidelines for evaluating which research is the most important. And then applying that to the clinical situation and seeing how it works out within the context of real practice with all the variations and interests and contextual things that go on in a practice. Well, let me read the second quote. Generally, evidence derived from clinically relevant research on psychological practices should be based on systematic reviews, reasonable effect sizes, statistical and clinical significance, and a body of supporting evidence. So an effect size is a very important term in research methods. How big of a difference did you see in applying what we call a treatment, something to assist somebody? And statistical and clinical significance. So all kinds of research studies, many different research methods employed, evaluated by experts in research methods to see what's giving us the best results, and then applying those and seeing how well they work in a rigorous and a systematic way. It mentions that word systematic reviews. So this is different from what's usually done in astrology. That's one of the main things about vibrational astrology. The second thing about vibrational astrology is that it uses a particular theoretical framework. You can have other systems of astrology that are evidence-based if they choose to follow the rigorous standards that are now used in academic disciplines. You could do that with a different theoretical framework. So vibrational astrology is evidence-based, and it uses a particular theoretical framework. The theoretical framework used in vibrational astrology is consistent with ideas in modern physics. So the variables that have been found to correlate with human behavior and personality in these rigorous research studies, they happen to differ greatly from the common ideas in astrology. So what we found in our research and in our approach to astrology is a certain lineage of ideas that mushroomed into this whole new way of doing astrology, very different from anything else that's being done. So it draws upon lots of ideas, builds upon them, and now has grown and developed in its own unique way. And the emphasis of these variables, these astrological variables, are aspect patterns and symmetry patterns in new ways that haven't been used by anyone before. This is all developing in the 21st century, this new model for analyzing astrology. And the beautiful and intricate patterns in fractals, so on the right side we see a fractal pattern. This reminds us of what we are doing in vibrational astrology in terms of complex and intricate pattern analysis. Is no longer a simple layout of 12 areas of houses and zodiac signs. I said simple, but actually, if any of you are advanced astrologers using traditional Western methods or Vedic methods or any number of other methods, the analysis can be extremely complex. But what I'm saying is that the variables analyzed in vibrational astrology are very different set of rules based on the research, based on this rigorous evidence-based practice, and the findings that we have happened to find, what we've happened to find in our research. Other people may come along, find another stream of variables that work, and some researchers claim that they have. Okay, so those are the two key ingredients of vibrational astrology. It's evidence-based, and it uses a particular theoretical framework, which, by the way, is much more than harmonics. Some people say, vibrational astrology is like harmonic astrology. Well, there are some overlaps, but many differences as well. Okay. All right, so how do you learn vibrational astrology? Okay, the videos, as I mentioned before. And the two ways to search for the videos. One is go to the YouTube channel, and there's a little trick that you can do at the YouTube channel to find the videos. So if you go to here, I brought these things up so we can jump to them right away. Here's the YouTube channel. Of course, you can just go to YouTube, search for Cosmic Cybernetics, or search for David Cochran Astrology or whatever. You'll find the links to the YouTube channel. They call it YouTube channel, the YouTube website page that I have. And here's the trick. There's a little magnifying lens thing here, a little search icon. Click on the search icon and search for anything you want to search for. What's cool about this is that YouTube prioritizes the YouTube channel that you're on. You can use this for any YouTube channel. It's a nice feature of YouTube that a lot of people overlook. If you're using, a mobile device, an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever, you'll have the same functions. Of course, the layout is different on the smaller mobile device. So, I don't know, what should I search for? I didn't think of this ahead of time. Let's search for, compatibility. And maybe I want to say compatibility. Well, let me just try compatibility. It will show other websites as well, but it's going to prioritize, or I should say YouTube channels, it's going to prioritize this one. So here we go. Keys to compatibility, part 1. Compatibility using harmonic astrology. Astrological compatibility in a vibrational universe. Part 1, part 3, it kind of jumps around. Here's key to compatibility, part 2. Look at all of these videos that I've made on compatibility on the same wavelength. Part 1, keys to marriage compatibility, goes on and on. I have made a lot of videos. I think it tells us up here somewhere that, does it tell us up at the top of I think it tells us, anyway, I think it's close to 700 videos now, as of December 2023. It's enormous. It just goes on, all of these videos about compatibility. You can get lost, dive in for days or weeks or months just on the compatibility. It's just extraordinary. So, yeah, here's a comparison of some different people, some examples. Anyway, it goes on and on. New evidence for the composite chart. So, now further down, it's getting into things that are not so related to compatibility, as we would expect. There you go. And here, it's only showing videos from my channel. Further down, I'll probably show videos from other channels as well. Okay, so it's just fantastic. That's one wonderful way to find the videos. When you have almost 700 videos and it's growing within a few years, it'll probably be 800, 900. We're going to hit 1,000 videos someday. How do you find them? This is one way. There's another way to find them. If we go back to the PowerPoint, okay, that's number one. Number two, use the index. I created my own index into the videos. By the way, I'm improving this probably by the middle of 2024 or somewhere around there. I don't know when I'll finish it. I'm going to have this improved. It's going to be even better. Let me show you how it works right now. But when I improve it, you're going to go to the same place. So this is what you do. You go to astrologydc.com. So I've got that right here, astrologydc.com. It's not a lot of stuff on here. DC, by the way, is the initials for my name, if you're wondering where that came from. So this is my website of what I'm doing. Very simple website, not a lot of things, but this button at the top links to YouTube videos. And again, if you're on an iPhone or an Android phone, it's going to look basically the same. Click on links to YouTube videos. And what's nice about this is there are topics. You can go into the topics that you're interested in. So here's Vibrational Astrology 1. Let's say you want to just learn vibrational astrology from the ground up. There it is. How totally awesome is that? And look at the incredible number of videos. What is vibrational astrology? Meanings of the harmonics, up to 32. Introduction to a 4-hour seminar that I gave showing how this works. One that I gave in 2022, another one I gave in 2021. Then VA fundamentals in detail goes. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And that is just one topic here. So this is a brilliant way to dive in. Now, how am I going to improve this? Right now, there are a little over 500 videos indexed. Every time I want to take a new video that I'm making and put it in here, it's a lot of work. So I'm redoing this page so that I can add them quickly. So every time I make a new video, I can add it in here. I'm also going to add a search feature similar to the search feature on YouTube where it'll find any topic you're looking for. But the main thing is I am updating it so that I can add the latest videos because I have almost 700. There's only a little over 500. That means there's probably 150 or more videos that I've made that are not here, which is unfortunate. I want to have them all here so you can find them all. But still, this is an excellent tool, and when I improve it, it will have every video that I've ever made. As soon as I make one, I can add it to this quickly after I redesign it to make it faster for me to improve it. Okay, so 2 ways to find the videos. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. What is the third way? Books. Okay, I want to tell you about several books. One are the Vibrational Astrology Study Guides. These are wonderful. We get tremendously good feedback. The people that developed this, Diane Ammons and Linda Berry, and I shouldn't even name them because there's many other people involved in developing it. They put in enormous number of hours to develop this nice guide to understanding vibrational astrology. You can find some of them at Amazon.com. I don't know if they're all there, but another thing you can do is go to Lulu.com, and let me show you that. Because when I go to Lulu, it's showing 3 books. Where is my Lulu.com? Here it is, lulu.com. So there's a search thing up at the top. I typed in Study Guide Vibrational Astrology, and there they are. Modules 1, 2, and 3. And then here's a book by Linda Berry, Vibrational Astrology Interpreting Aspects, actually by me and Linda Berry. She took material from lectures I gave and program she was enrolled in and developed this book. So these are really wonderful. We get great feedback about these, and they summarize key issues. It's really to summarize all of the important key points about any topic, whether that's natal charts, compatibility, forecasting. So it's a good way to overview everything and see what you've left out, what you might have missed. And then it tells you about videos that you can watch and other resources like books to learn more about it. And it includes the fundamentals all in these 3 books. So it's a great series of books. So you've got videos, you've got books to learn from. Also on the topic of books, if you can go to Amazon and Amazon.com, and my book, The Astrology of Bipolar Disorders, I just went into the search at the top. I type Astrology of Bipolar Disorder, and there it is. The Astrology of Bipolar Disorder, Scientific Breakthrough. Another book. This is the book, if you want to see you could say hardcore, the real intense, rigorous research, how it's done, what we found. It's written in a friendly, hopefully interesting story about how these discoveries are made and practical applications. So it's not overly nerdy, but it does show you, wow, this is a new world of databases and graphs and, things actually really working. Scientific breakthrough. Believe it or not, there is a scientific breakthrough in astrology. Astrologers, as well as cynics of astrology and in between, are all skeptical, like, what? I don't believe that. Read the book. Okay, so anyway, those are some books that are available. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. Okay, so I mentioned all the books. The book on bipolar disorder, Scientific Breakthrough. You can also go to astrosoftware.com to buy that book. 4, classes. Yes, classes. That's a typical way we learn astrology. As of December 2023, I'm aware of 3 people teaching classes in vibrational astrology. There are probably more and others. In the future, there'll be others. But this is what I'm aware of right now. Linda Berry, Starlene Brighter, Clarissa Dolphin all teach classes in vibrational astrology. They all do it differently, which is fantastic. So it gives you choices. Starlene will also teaches classes in astrology in general, not just vibrational. So she has introductory classes, and then you can go on to some of her advanced classes, and she teaches different things, and some of them are on vibrational astrology. Each person is different. So it's great to have choices, and they're all great. I get fantastic feedback on all 3 of them, depending on your interests and your style. Of course, different people like different things, so we have a lot of choices. So we have 3 choices. So let me just show you their websites real quickly. I mean, you can Google their names and find it. But here's Linda Berry, and her website is called astrosleuth.org. ASTROSLEUTH.org. And right here, currently as I look at this, you may be watching this 5 or 10 years in the future, but you've got the idea, the classes that are being taught. Okay, vibrational astrology program description, you can click on that, and there we go, different courses that she teaches. And let's look at Starlene. Here's Starlene's beautiful website. And, she upcoming workshops and courses. There it is. By the way, if you happen to be watching this when I release this video, both Linda and Starlene are opening up new classes in January 2024, less than a month away. I think Linda's started in early January. I didn't check to see exactly when Starlene's, but about a month from now. So if you happen to be watching this when I release this video, and you want to take some classes, hop over there straight away, read about it, and you can, of course, email them. They provide the link and ask more questions about it if you're interested. But they're constantly teaching classes, regardless of when you watch this. And here's Clarissa Dolphin's website. And so astrology readings, tarot readings, Reiki healing, etc. And her classes. Check out my classes. So there we go. Vibrational Astrology 101, beginner's course. And all three of these people have graduated from my training program. They're all fully trained. They're all outstanding. They're all wonderful. So classes, there you go. What about me? You're asking. Some people are asking. I am teaching 3 sets of courses right now. I probably will not be teaching in the future. I want to focus on research. So, we're taking our best and brightest in vibrational astrology. We're going into teaching and letting you know about that. They are excellent. Okay, now, last way to learn vibrational astrology that I can think of. By the way, no doubt I'm forgetting some things, overlooking some classes. I might need to make an addendum of things that I've missed. Write down in the comments anything you're aware of that I overlooked, I didn't say. I'm a scatterbrain. I probably am overlooking something really fundamental. So it's just me. I tend to overlook things. So I'll add those in. Events, workshops, lectures, etc. These are ongoing all the time. So, for example, if you're watching this before May of 2024, I am giving a weekend seminar. I probably will not do this again, and I'm not doing many public speaking. I'm just doing research, making the videos. So this will be one chance, for me to meet you in person, to attend these things. And the information is at astrologydc.com. So back here at astrologydc.com, if you go back to the home page, it's right there, right underneath these 3 buttons. Live weekend. This is live. I'm not going to do it simultaneously online. I'm just too busy to organize all that. I do have someone who's probably going to record, so we probably will have recordings of it. We are expecting that will be possible. Anyway, May 18 to 19 in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've set it up very nicely. Charlotte has an international airport. You fly in here. There's a free shuttle from the airport to the conference center. I have a flexible pricing to make it accessible to everyone. Trying to make this available for people at basically almost any economic level. If you can get here and if you can manage to, pay for a place to stay, it's not expensive to attend if you don't want it to be. And then there's, I do often do things on, you might say, donation basis. In fact, all of the YouTube videos are free for everyone. I forgot to mention that. There is an optional membership where you can pay $5 or $10 a month, depending on what you want to do. So I like this idea of people donating, giving, contributing, supporting, if they can, otherwise making it extremely inexpensive or free. The YouTube videos are free. The conference is only $75 if you cannot afford to pay more. You just pay what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so there are events. Also, the Vibrational Astrology Conference in 2024. It's going to be on March 2nd. It's a one-day online event. I believe they're planning in 2025 for it to be a live event somewhere in Florida. And that Vibrational Astrology Conference is likely to incorporate things. Whoops! Just hit my keyboard here. We'll probably incorporate not just vibrational astrology, but probably other ideas as well. Anyway, you can keep up with that. The website is vibrationalastrologyconference.com. I think I may have covered it all. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. And that Vibrational Astrology Conference has been going on regularly. It stopped during COVID, but otherwise regular. It's an annual, every year. So there it is, just a summary of the 5 things. And by the way, a little fun thing at the end here, this beautiful image here on the right side is actually a fractal image where we take a formula, you put it through and it repeats the formula, looks very similar to mandalas that you would see in cathedrals, also looks very similar to chart wheels where people will put things like decanates and Navamsa signs and Saptamsa signs and different degrees and so on around the wheel. Fractal images and astrological images having extreme similarities, and the beautiful complexity of this image is exactly what vibrational astrology is. That we live in a complex, beautiful, intricate tapestry. Sometimes when people learn about vibrational astrology, they say, oh, it's too complicated. Well, it's complicated only when you first look at it. In a lot of ways, vibrational astrology is simpler than other systems of astrology because it's one consistent approach, one theme that runs through it. And you do get these intricate, beautiful patterns. So this is just a fractal image, but it's very similar to how we think in vibrational astrology. So that's just sort of another image to think about what vibrational astrology is. If you are a member, those of you who've gone to my YouTube page and you clicked on join, I am so appreciative. It helps make possible the ability to do all this. So up here at the top of the YouTube page there it is, the join button. If you're on an iPhone and you don't see the join button, there's a buggy thing in the iPhone app for YouTube. If you don't see it, or at least there was, it's probably still there. Anyway, you can go to your browser like Safari or Chrome or whatever, and then go to it, and then you should see the join button. And if you're not a member, that's a contribution of $5 or $10 a month. You can just subscribe, doesn't cost anything. That also supports this work. So I try to make all this available based on what people feel comfortable contributing. That's it, my friends. The ways to learn vibrational astrology. Thank you very much for listening. God bless. Namaste.